Good morning, YouTube. This is Mini back here. I've had a busy week. If you guys haven't noticed, I got turned on to making captions for my how-to videos, so I tried to get some of those up there. Got some other builds done. I got my 2014 out of box done. This right here is my 2013 out of box. And I've been following a few of you guys on YouTube, and I've noticed there's several different build-offs going on. I'm not trying to get in the middle of those. I just want to offer one to see what the community would think. Now, I think the last video I watched this morning is Hunter on his Kenworth. He's doing, I think it was a Kenworth challenge on the out-of-box stuff for another group he's a part of, and I took part of the out-of-box for 13 and for the 14, and I've seen some of the other build-offs that have been going out there. I finished my Fast Jimmy 71 tribute build this week, so I know that build is still going off. I know Dr. Cranky is doing what Big Jim's Halloween thing going on, so I know there's a lot of stuff going on. I know everybody's got shows coming up and deadlines, but here's what I wanted to do for the YouTube community. We take these out of boxes, and like Fast Jimmy had said in his video, he's going to go old school all the way, like in the beginning. And in the beginning, we had rattle cans, brushes, and basically what the kit had in it. Depending upon what era you started building your models, some of them were just plain Jane like mine. I only had one option other than decals, and I could paint it anyway. This was a kit that came out 2000, after 2000. So it's kind of a newer kit. Now you have the 70 Impala that I have built for 2013. Now it came out in 1970. They took the 69 molds and made the 70. So the 69 was no more after 70, and they built this one from AMT. I can't speak for the same about the MPC. But the AMT tool, they changed the front end from this way forward, and they changed this arch here and the back and the rear end because the trunk line and stuff was a little bit different on the 69, but the whole front end was way different. In 69, the kits came with a console and buckets together, and that was no more in 70, so that was done. So the only way you got this car in 1970 was, at first they had this version and they had all the custom stuff that was left over from the 69. The next year they made a mild and wild class out of this one, where you can have it as a drag, and then they turned this into a fire chief, and they turned it into a lowrider, and it's been several different kits. So if you grab this kit anywhere after 71 and you wanted to build an out of box, they had all kinds of different options you could put on it. Even this one that I built last year, it was a buyer's choice from, I think, 94. I think it was a buyer's choice from 94. And in that had the drag option, had the lowrider options. There was a line under this one where I could cut this roof off kind of funny, like the Buick Riviera kit that they have out too, that you could build the lowrider. This was reboxed in a Cruising USA, the Bears Customs. It's been out a many times. So when we first started the hobby, you had options of kit parts to stay, what I want to say, out of box. Now for me, I had a few people in my family that was building. My dad was just a box stock builder. My Uncle Brian was just a box stock builder. So I always ended up with their leftover parts. I had a friend's mom who would build some too, so I got to get her leftover parts. And then there was a neighborhood kid that I found out he built, and I got his leftover parts. So at some point I had to stop collecting parts. I had so many parts. I had bags and bags of parts. I had so many parts, and my dad told me that I needed to clean this mess up or he was going to throw it all away. I had that many model parts. And what happens when you go scavenging? Crap gets everywhere. I had parts everywhere. My mom was stepping on them. They ended up in my backpack. I was taking stuff to school, dog chewing on them. And I probably lost more useful stuff then I threw away stuff I wouldn't use just because I had so much and everywhere. So I'm going to tell you, I'm 40 years old now, so probably at about the age of 10 or 11, I went with my dad. He used to have some show cars. I went with my dad to a World of Wheels. That was my first contest, was in I'm going to say 83, 85, that kind of era. My dad had a 71 Torino, and it was, oh my God, balls to the wall, scariest car I've ever been in. My dad beefed it up, and it was just a monster for a great big old car. Our playground was right by our house, and my dad would come around the corner dropping first gear, and all you would see was this canary yellow Torino GT just sideways for 3 blocks. The car was just a monster. And then my dad built a Ford Ranger, and it was lowered and pro streeted, late model 302, and it was just, he's had some immaculate, really nice show cars. So what I did is I started taking my extra parts and into the kits that I had available. We really didn't have much aftermarket until about 95, 96 that when I ever got my first set of aftermarket wheels, which happened to be Pegasus wire wheels. But prior to that, I only had kit stuff to work with, or stuff I would get at the hobby shop, or I mean not the hobby shop, but the hardware store and craft stores. So like even till today, I still have feet long of telephone wire, and what I do with this today is if I leave the copper in it, I can bend it, and it's my radiator. It's like my heater hoses and stuff like that, my hydraulic lines for my lowriders. But if you pull the copper out, it's hollow, and then I could use that for spark plug boots and stuff like that. And then I buy this wire. I don't know if you guys can find it anymore, but it's Radio Shack. I got these from Radio Shack, the wrapping wire. This right here is orange, and you guys can see I got rolls and rolls of blues and whites, and I think that might be my last orange. But here's my, move that for a minute. Here's my little box where I used to keep my detail parts that I use. And like you see, you know, there's no aftermarket stuff in there. It's my wire, like I said, from Radio Shack, beads from Joann's, hoses I already took the wires out of for my boots. Another stuff, Hobby Lobby, you know, these little beads, I use these for my fittings, my ANN fittings, and this right here is heater hose fittings and stuff like that. You know, just all kinds of fittings. Little alloys, I don't know what they're called, isolators maybe, but they're from Radio Shack too. I use them for inline fuel filters. What I want to do, it looks like I'm running short on time, guys. What I wanted to do is offer what I would call, what I grew up doing, would be a modified out of box. Meaning you can do whatever you want to with the kit. Like here, right here. What do most people see when they see this Impala Donk kit? Either it's ugly to them, or it's like they think, why would somebody ever do that? But to me, I looked past what was on the box. At the time, Big Lots had these for $5. What did I do? Like a dummy, I told my wife, I said, babe, I want 20 bucks, and I went to the store and I got 4 of these because they were $5 a piece. She asked me, she said, why'd you buy all the same one when they had different ones? And I said I had ideas. That's the way my mind works, ideas. So here's what I've come about this. Now this is where this one led to. If you look, no aftermarket's in here. Even though I did body work, I put an Ultra Nomad roof on here. It's got a monogram truck bed. It's got a 69 Camaro hood scoop. And all this is all kit stuff other than the body work. So what I was wanting to do is see what we could do if we use nothing aftermarket other than your wheels, your flocking, and your foil. Other than that, it has to be all kit related. You can do body work, you can add wires and stuff to the engine, you can add your exhaust. Like I use this solder right here. I use different sizes of solder for my exhaust, and you've seen I use for the wiring. You've seen what I use for the wiring. You can wire it, you can detail it, no aftermarket. other than your wheels and tires could be aftermarket, because I understand I'm a custom builder. Nothing sets off a build like a set of wheels. So wheels, you can use any wheels you want, aftermarket or whatnot. But my challenge is to have you modify just using your leftover kit parts. So motor swaps, seats, dash, bodywork, all that has to remain within kit restrictions. You know, you can use Plastistruct to create something, but I don't want to see. I'm trying to get back to my roots. Back in my roots, I had $15 to go to the store to buy a model. Model cost $5. Wheels would cost $10. So if I was going to build me another lowrider, I had to make sure I had $15 to get there. After that, I never used photo etch. I didn't even know what photo etch was. It wasn't until maybe about 2002, 2003 before I ever started using bare metal foil. But I believe foil enhances the look, flocking enhances the look, and the wheels will enhance the look. Other than that, I want to see your guys' craftsmanship. Make your own distributors. Make your own body changes if you want to. Make a convertible, or make it a wagon, or make it an El Camino like I have here. You know, change your hood if you want to change your hood. Use what I want to say, like say you're playing a video game. Alright? I want you to level up. I want to see you take what you thought was unthinkable and make it practical. Do it to a point. It don't have to be factory perfect. Look, this El Camino ain't going to be factory perfect. It's in this first stage of body work. I put primer in it to see where I was. But I know them ain't tail lights off of a wagon or for an El Camino. I know this. But I'm building something. This is all plastic. This right here was something supposed to be in a Ford F-150. Take what you have available. Look, boxes of parts just sitting around. You know, I've gotten, this is, you know, we all got them. We've all built something that didn't take right, or man, I really liked building that Mustang, so I'm gonna buy me a few more for the motor, you know, or the Chevrolets, and the, you know, there's other stuff that we could be using. But I want to see you. I don't want to say scavenge, but I want to see you be resourceful. Find you a wire that scale. Find you a boot that scale. Make your line. See this K&S stuff. I use this K&S stuff all the time. You know, make your hoses and fittings instead. You know, and see how far you can go with just, you know, getting out of box. It opens it up for you. You know, but modified out of box. I want you to use the contents that a factory company has given us versus going and getting an aftermarket company, because I know times are hard. Not all of us can buy the photo etch sets for $14, to buy the $10 wheels or $20 wheels or $30 wheels, to get the machined engine parts, to get, you know, the, you know, it just, our hobby has really went outrageous. I was watching another video this morning, and the guy was like, Reaper, you know, I'll say it, Reaper had a good point. Why should we go to the store, and this kit that came out in 1997 was the black snap together kit the first time this came out. It was $4.99, brand new, $4.99 at Kmart, Hobby Heaven, Walmart, when Walmart sold models. Then all of a sudden they start changing, putting the lowrider issue. You get a little 164 die cast, $27. Now they brought it. Now they have it out in the donk kit. You know, they're regenerating sales. But we went from 5 to 10 to 15 to, if you walked in the store now to buy this off the Hobby Lobby shelf, or Michael's $27.99 for this one kit. I got 3 years ago at Big Lots for $5. It's gotten outrageous, but I do have to say, this past year, we've gotten some great subjects from these companies. So let's still support the companies the best way we can. Let's do that by staying with using our scavenger skills, and let's use the kits they give us with the parts we have left over from the other kits we have available. You guys think that sounds cool? Well, if so, hit me up and let's do this. You guys have a good day, and I'm going to carry on.